There was.
Well, not with me there was. He was thinking of going in the military before going to school? What, to help pay for it or something? I can't see Brad in the military. No. No, he was too good for the military. His father must have talked him out of it then, because...
We won't show that to the GIs out there now.
Talking about my son. No, but he did sacrifice by living at home the first 2 years, or at least the first year he lived at home.
Whose decision was that?
I guess it was his. Again, I'm not sure we had a lot of discussion about it. Things were just kind of...
What did you discuss?
Well, we knew you kids were smart enough you were going to go to college. Just no discussion about it. We did go to Carleton and we went to McAllister for Jackie to check him out. She didn't like McAllister at all. It had gotten very, what's the word, is it liberal? I don't know. But it wasn't like when I went there.
What was it like when you went there?
Just an ordinary Presbyterian school, but it wasn't Presbyterian anymore, and had a lot of foreign students. And they'd put a big, horrible iron gate around the campus. It wasn't an open campus. I didn't like it anymore either. But she liked Carleton, so.
Did you like Carleton?
Yeah, I like Carleton. It's a good school. Your father blames Carleton for all of Jackie's weird ideas. He said, she was in plays down there. Yes.
What type?
She would, well, in high school, you know, she was Dolly in Hello, Dolly. You knew that.
And what type of roles did she have in college?
I'm trying to think of what her plays were. They were pretty interesting. They were something deeper than Hello, Dolly.
Weren't there a lot of witches and...
A lot of what?
Witches and women of the night seemed to be roles that she might have had.
Not that I remember. Do you remember them? You were at home. You didn't go to see
I'm not the interviewee here.
But you have the memory. I have. Well, you have to ask Jackie. I don't remember.
Mm.
But we would drive down there and see plays. One of them was, oh, I can't remember.
Shakespeare?
I don't remember any Shakespeare.
Twelfth Night?
Mm-mm. I think I had a Gobbler. I think she was in Hedda Gobbler.
And what did she study in college?
Well, I guess sociology.
She graduated with an undergrad in sociology?
I think so. Well, that's what her PhD is in.
True.
I'm assuming that's what it is.
And what about your son? What did he study in college?
Physics. Yeah. I have his dissertation over there. You ever seen that?
I believe so. Again, I'm asking the questions. And what was Peter like in Minneapolis?
Peter was riding his big wheel all over the place.
When did he get a big wheel?
One of his birthdays. Probably, maybe the fourth. Well, you should remember that. 4th, 5th. You'd ride it down in the basement, round and around. We have a picture of you. It was on your birthday, and it was in the front yard there on the hill. You were very excited about your big wheel.
So Jackie was well known for her plays. Brad was studying physics and Peter was on his big wheel.
Right. Well, now there's 9 years between you and Jackie, and 11, you and Brad. That's what I say. I don't think you had a lot to do with them unless we were going on a trip or something.
They didn't help take care of me?
Not really. They were good about studying, or they had activities after school.
That were more important than their little brother?
Yeah, right. That was my job, I guess.
Anything that you particularly disliked about Minneapolis?
Me? The weather. I liked the winter for about 3 months, and after that I was sick of it. No, I had friends. When I was working, I had my friends at LaBelle's, and I had friends at the school. We didn't have a lot of couples friends then, except neighborhoods, when we had neighborhood gatherings.
Why didn't you have many couple friends?
I don't know. Sam didn't really, I don't know if he didn't like the men, or he was really different from all the men. He was exercising and running, and he just didn't fit in real well.
By his choice?
I don't know, you'd have to ask him.
Well, I'm asking you.
Well, I don't know whether it was his choice, but that's the way it worked out.
The other men weren't exercising and things?
No.
They weren't as athletic?
Right. He played tennis, every Saturday.
Who would he play with?
I think some guys from work. Not anybody in the neighborhood.
Well, tell me about family life. Would you have dinner together there?
Yes.
When would Sam get home?
Oh, between 5 and 6. And then, now, Sam went to, who were the little guys you belonged to? The Indians.
Indian Guides.
Indian Guides. And then he would do some scouting stuff with Brad. Jackie was always reading or writing or in her room. And she would kill me. I remember the afternoon I got a call from the police department. You know this.
No.
She and her friend were caught at Target stealing earrings.
Earrings? Were they nice looking earrings?
No, they're, I guess, cheap. $2, $3 earrings. And I had to come and pick her up, and they were banned from Target. I wasn't happy.
Did you ground them?
My usual excitement about things. Did I ground her? No, I didn't ground her.
How old was she?
Old enough to know better. I think in high school. I think so. Because they wouldn't have been at Target by themselves if they weren't about that age.
Who was her
But
friend?
she wasn't driving, so I don't know. That's all I remember about her.
What friend?
I know where she lives, but I can't remember her. She lived down in the circle down this way from our house.
Liz Popelka?
I think so. See? You remember names. I used to play bridge with Gwen Popelka, her mother. and Lois Chrisman and Marianne Schnell and Ruth Lusky.
Do you keep in touch with them?
What?
Do you keep in touch with them?
Lois Chrisman, I do. I've given up on. Marianne Schnell writes 2-page Christmas letters, typewritten, about every child, every grandchild, everything. I've cut my list short.
So you don't send her anything?
No. I think last year was the first year. I cut him out. If I don't hear from him during the year, we have to be. Georgianne and Johnson, I keep up with her. You remember Georgianne and Rick.
That
Rich.
was Texas though. We haven't left Minneapolis yet.
Oh. Oh gosh. Okay.
Did you go to church?
We went to the First Presbyterian Church downtown. I sang in the choir actually.
Really?
Yep.
Till when?
The whole time we were there.
Did any of the children?
No. Oh, it's another traumatic thing for Brad. That's why he doesn't sing to this day. He was in the kids' choir, and there was, happened to be the boy up of the choir director, which I think was maybe coincidental, or maybe not. Something's. And he was standing next to Brad, and he said something derogatory to Brad about how he was singing or whatever. And Brad quit the choir, and he never sang after that. Couldn't get him to sing. I don't know if he does now or not. What have you done to my chair?
What did he say that was derogatory?
I don't know. Something that really hurt Brad's feelings. He was a bratty kid.
Brad?
No, the kid that was sitting next to him, who did have a nice voice, and so, whatever. Kids can be cruel at that age.
Peter never sang in the choir?
You did in school, in Dallas, and yeah, in Dallas. And didn't you, weren't you in some school things, school next door, before we moved?
Pilgrim Lane?
Yeah. I think you were.
I think maybe Peter made a record singing a duet on that.
That's right. See? That's right. All I remember about Peter is, and you've heard this, well, you lived it, me going in and chewing out the 4th grade teacher.
About what?
An elderly gentleman who was about to retire or should have retired because he kept you in on recess because you were either acting up in school or being obnoxiously raising your hand and doing all this kind of stuff. And I went in and I said, you will not keep him in from recess. I said, you can send him to the library or you give him more work to do, but he needs to run off his energy. And that is why he's active in school and find more constructive ways to handle the situation.
And how did Mr. Dahlheimer respond to that?
He didn't say too much. But you didn't stay in for recess after that, right?
I was unaware of the intervention.
Really? Really? Well, you must have come home and told me that you stayed in, you were kept in. I found out somehow that
It didn't make an impression.
really. So then I never can remember, when we went to Dallas, were you in 6th grade? Were you still in elementary school or did you go into the middle school?
I was at Pilgrim Lane. Still.
For 6th grade? So then you went into middle school. Oh, how you hated Dallas. Oh.
Why?
You tell me why.
No, I'm asking you. You were the parent.
Well, we kind of learned, the classes were big. They didn't want you saying anything. You were just to sit there and be trolls, as far as I could figure out. And you weren't about to do that. But you were in musicals and things. You enjoyed that. Well, and the high school kids, we had Scorpions here in Seattle. They were the Fighting Farmers. That kind of gives you an idea of what this was like. And then your father had to drive you every morning, and I had to pick you up because we were just on the borderline for the... I don't think it was that. The buses would have come unbelievably early in the morning and brought you home late at night or something, but that's how we worked that out.